are fresh graduates, fresh college graduates, those who not necessarily are so experienced in the working world. And my choice of studying this group of people is because I am one of these individuals. I am one of these fresh graduates, and those who are finding their foot or their space in the real working world, as you can say. So what is it that they are doing that in today's world where a job comes by very rarely? What should they do to get themselves employed in a place where they would enjoy working and of course benefit from it? So firstly, let me tell you more about talent and how I view talent. Talent for me is something that is intangible. It is something that is looking in the future. And specifically, we are talking about talent potential and not really the performance of an individual. Somebody who is performing well may not have the potential to do something much more in the future, whereas somebody who doesn't seem to perform as well today might have a lot of potential in another field of study or in another company. So this makes this topic very subjective, but I believe that there is much to do research on, and there is much to learn from this group of people. Especially in today's recruitment scene, I have noticed and realized that there are many of these long training programs whereby students would have to go through, and upon graduating from these long training programs in companies, then they would be hired, or sometimes they may not even be hired by the same company. What I am speaking of are these recruitment programs which last from 1 year to about 2 years, and these recruits would be rotated from different departments in this company. For example, a new recruit would come into the company as a cohort, so as a group, and they would spend about 3 months in human resource department, after which they would do 3 months in sales and marketing, and after 3 months they would do research and development. So after this 2 years, they would have seen the whole of the company. They would have went through all the departments, and they would know how to deal, or rather manage, each of these different departments. And then only completing these rotations would they be considered for further positions, employment paths in these companies. For example, of a company would be Procter & Gamble or Bombardier. And I myself have looked through the details of these programs, and they actually do look very attractive to fresh graduates. But what are the real benefits of having such long extended interviews, as I might call them? Because it is really an interview whereby the company gets to learn everything about a particular person. After 2 years of being in your company, if this recruit doesn't get employed, what are the effects of such a long time of their youth in a particular company? And there are many questions to be asked with regards to this kind of recruitment programs. Excuse me. And Dr. Marie Helen Butworth's research on knowledge transfer within groups would be of great beneficial qualities to my research on youth talent management, because I believe that what my underlying theory would be on this research would be on knowledge transfers, and specifically in groups, in training groups, because these recruits come into the company as a cohort, as a group. And how would individuals compete, because they are really competing against each other for the final employment pass after 2 years of the program? And how are they learning from each other? How is knowledge shared amongst these recruits? How are they getting to know just a little bit more than the other, to be standing out as a higher potential individual? All of these are very complex because they are all hidden in the human mind with regards to knowledge. Knowledge isn't shown on the outside, rather it is deep under the skin. So I hope that I can be able to work with Dr. Marie Helen in this field of knowledge sharing, and specifically in groups of youth talent. My main research question for this research area would be to find out the strategies and practices in which human resource management use to better identify and recruit these youth talent internationally. So there are a few parts of this research question, and let me break them down for you. So first of all, I would like to find out the strategy and practices used by human resource management to identify and recruit these talented young individuals, and not just in a local context but in a international context. And how does this affect the strategies, or rather the policies of employment for the company? And I am also very interested in finding out how people measure talent potential, something that is invincible for us at the moment, something that is intangible, something we cannot touch, or we just have to walk by faith in this person and hoping, or rather believing, that this person would be the best fit in this company. So the intended contributions of my research in talent management, youth talent management, would be to define talent as it is today and also in the future. So what companies should start to think about to help them recruit people in the coming near future? Secondly, my research interest would be in international mobility. And many people have already done research in this particular field, but I feel that there can be much more done on boundaryless careers. The mobility of the individual, moving from country to country, or sometimes from company to company, if they are self-initiated expatriates. How does this have an effect on the individual? And my special interest in this really roots from my own experiences from moving from country to country since a very young age. And what is it in us as a group of special people that allows us to move, and what kind of qualities do we have in us? And are we better employees, or are we better at a certain kind of task, or what makes us more suitable for traveling? And not just traveling, but really just moving from comfort zone to comfort zone. And Dr. Julia Richardson's work on boundaryless careers would be very beneficial for my own understanding in this field of study. And it would be great if we could do more research together, and in particular studying about these effects on these individuals who self-initiate these movements. And also Dr. Steve McKenna's work on internationally mobile skilled workers also come in handy in this field. And it would be great if I could also learn from him, as he is an expert in qualitative research. I believe so that my research would be based mostly on qualitative research. Of course, I would do some quantitative research too. But I think the main methodology of studying in a human resource management, and in particular for my fields of study, would be much more beneficial if done in a qualitative study. Because you are studying humans, you have to go down deeper than numbers to really understand the underlying concepts or the beliefs of people, the values and the goals and targets of these individuals. Therefore, I choose to do my studies qualitatively. And lastly, for my third research interest is on diversity management. As I